Everyone, CPO here, and yeah, welcome to my live stream. So give me just a second here to let people sort of get in. Hopefully everything technically is working okay. I can't tell if there's any lag or not, if things are out of sync or not working, or can you hear me or not hear me. So those things will be helpful to know about in the chat. So if you're on YouTube, which is where you're watching this, because if you're watching this somewhere else, you're in a different dimension. But feel free to use the chat because that's where the content for this live stream is going to come from. I have no agenda. I'm literally hanging out here. I have a couple of tablets. I've got some pretty interesting views that we can use. So I'll have the reMarkable here. I've got the Supernote A5X. And if we want the reMarkable one for some reason, I've got it here. So we're just going to talk. Thanks, Jack, for letting me know it's working okay. It's always hard to tell on the monitors because they're delayed and a little bit laggy, but that's because the priority is sent to the stream. So thanks for letting me know it works. Yeah, so really have no agenda. Like I said, I have the reMarkable. I have the AX5 or A5X from Supernote, and I'm literally just bouncing back and forth between these, trying to learn both systems. And I've been really loving the Supernote. Obviously, this is a new product, the X version of this. So it's just now being released to consumers. So I had a chance to have some access to it beforehand. It's a really cool device, a lot of cool things coming. There is something magical about the reMarkable that's hard to put my finger on, but I wanted to go spend some time specifically with one and then bounce back to the other. And yeah, so you've seen a lot of videos on my channel of me, working through those things. So it's a holiday for me, so I hope you don't mind if I partake in an Angry Orchard while we talk. All right, so I'm going to start just answering questions. I'm going to pay attention to the chat window, so if you guys have anything, let me know. I'll try and answer the things I can answer. If I can't answer, I'll let you know. Like I'm not a representative of any of these companies. I don't consider myself an expert in any of this. I just really enjoy playing with technology and enjoy making videos. So it's kind of a convergence that works out well for me. I'd love to know, this is from Mark, I'd love to know the feel of the Supernote A5X versus the RM1. On the scale of RM to iPad, where does Supernote writing feel land? Pre-order the Supernote based on your videos and my deep guide. Okay, so on the scale of RM to iPad, for those of you that that may not understand what he's getting at, is the reMarkable is sort of the gold standard. And I will say, let me just see here. I have both the RM1 and the RM2. I mean, they feel the same to me, the the reMarkables. So just in general, I think there are people who are saying that the reMarkable 2 is a little different than the 1. I'm not sure. And for reference, I'm not using the stock nib. This is the Marker Plus, but I have a nib from this guy, which is the Samsung S Pen. What nib do I have in that? I've got like a rubbery one, but I like the gray nib on the reMarkable. So so keep that in mind as I talk about this. But from a scale to reMarkable, which is sort of the benchmark for feeling like paper, I think for most people, to iPad, which is purely glass. I do have an iPad around here somewhere. I'm not going to go find it. I also have an old Samsung tablet. But it really is writing on glass. To me, there's no comparison at all between an iPad and a reMarkable. And then so where does the Supernote fit into that? And I don't know how to explain the feel of the Supernote because it is neither. It is nothing like the iPad at all. It's got good friction. It's got good responsiveness. Something about, like, you can feel, and I wish you could see this. I can see it. I know you can't. There's a way that the ceramic nib sort of digs into the plastic. It's like a rubbery plastic top layer. And I wondered what I was going to think about that over time if it felt too rubbery, but it doesn't. It feels, oh, here's a good way to put it. I would say if I had to compare, let me delete this layer. I would say this feels like writing with a nice gel ink pen on paper, whereas the reMarkable is probably more like writing on a pencil on paper. So there's a scratchiness to the reMarkable that the Supernote doesn't have, but that in no way means it's like writing on glass. I hope that makes sense. So I put it way over on the reMarkable side of that spectrum of reMarkable to iPad, but it's not a linear scale. There's not like reMarkable and then you get into Supernote, because they're on completely separate. They're on separate railroad tracks, and they're in about the same position, but they're different. I hope that helps. Is the A5X canvas folio too thin, protective enough for the device? Let me get the reMarkable out of the way here. So it is thin. You can see there. It feels more like a. I'm looking for a reference. It's not cardboard, or maybe it is cardboard, but it's thin cardboard. It's like a book cover, but thicker. So protective. I wouldn't say it's protective. I would say it protects the display from scratches, but overall, it's actually. I have crap everywhere. Hold on. I was going to compare it to my Moleskine, but no, this is way thinner. So yeah, it's definitely thicker than that. I don't think it's not going to offer drop protection, if that's what you're wondering. And to be fair, I don't think the reMarkable one does either. The reMarkable is thicker. It's more like a hardback cover book as opposed to a paperback soft cover book. But this is thicker than a usual book cover. So it's sort of in between that. But the reMarkable definitely is a thicker, hardbound book feel. But yet I know people who have dropped the reMarkable and broken it just as well. So I don't know if protection is really great on either one of them. I have so when I travel, I use one of these. This is actually for, I think it's an HP tablet. And I haven't tried this with the pen on there. Yeah, it does fit. So I have this like neoprene tablet case that I use with when I travel. So I throw it in a backpack or something and I'm going somewhere. I use this. So the reMarkable fits into this as well. So this might be something to consider for you if you really want protection, but you don't want to get a different type of case or cover. So this is, I think, a 10-inch, 10 or 11-inch tablet case. So probably like an iPad sleeve or something similar, and just slip it inside. And this is foam lined. So I really feel like if I dropped either tablet with this thing, it'll probably survive. So that's why, like I said, when I travel, I throw it into here. But just around day to day, I don't really worry about it. I just put it in a backpack. Okay. How noticeable is a latency difference between the RM2 and the AX5? Does it affect your writing clarity at all? I don't personally notice a latency difference at all between the two in actual day-to-day use. So I'm going to flip both of these open. And let me once again clear this layer. So I know that like Voya on my deep guide has done some latency testing, and he does a very comprehensive sort of high-speed camera-ish close-up latency view. I don't notice a difference. I'm gonna draw. Like if I look for it, I can see the ink sort of lagging behind slightly. But I see the same thing on the reMarkable. It's a smaller amount by far. But when we're talking the difference between a couple millimeters and 1 or 2 more millimeters, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And I honestly don't notice it at all when I'm writing. Like I don't go, oh God, the latency is horrible. Now there have been other tablets. The Quark Logic is a great example of a tablet I just could not get on with. Like I tried, and the latency there, if I recall correctly, was pretty noticeable to me. But between these two, I don't notice a difference. Now you will see one thing I do want to talk about. You will see me, and hopefully I don't mess up. I am known to make mistakes. You will see me write with the Supernote with this pen that came with the Supernote. One reason for that is because it's got the ceramic nib, which is designed to work with this soft plastic cover, this like self-healing rubber, whatever that thing is. And then this I write on the reMarkable, which is a regular sort of soft nib. You can't, I mean, you can, it works. But it doesn't work when there's another pen on there. If you write on the reMarkable with a ceramic tip, you'll scratch the surface. So I'm trying to remember to keep them separate. Hopefully I don't mess up. Affect your writing clarity. And as far as writing clarity, I don't notice a difference at all. I think there's more in the software that's gonna play to clarity than the actual latency or lag. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing where I'm like, if only it would be faster, I could figure out where I am. I just don't see that at all. So yeah, I'm gonna try and clear these out. I'm a doodler and clearly a line drawer, and then I have to remember how to navigate both of these devices because they're different in their UIs. Erase all. Okay. Noticeable was the latency. I got that one. Or the thanks for letting me know the videos are helpful. It really is a cool device. The A5X. If anything's going to give reMarkable a run for its money, I think it's the Supernote A5X. The books lineup is very popular. I don't think it compares at all to these two. These are two flagship level models. The books was just too much tablet-y for me, and too many compromises in that regard. So any one of these two are going to be good for you. Do you know what plans I have, particularly for academic, split screen, Kindle, PDF, annotations, please? So, all right. So now we're talking about the A5X. And I have been in contact with some folks from Supernote because I have a lot of questions, and I was reviewing their products, and I wanted to know like specifically what I'm dealing with. So I have some information about that. So the academics, the big thing there will be the ability to handle like enlarging and zooming in on PDFs, which is coming. Pinch to zoom is coming in the next month or two. So I'm told it's on the development schedule right now. And that's going to be huge, I think, for academics, because right now, if you load up a PDF, you can't zoom in on it. You can, let me see what PDFs I have in here. Documents. Okay. Here's a mountain bike magazine PDF. By the way, went mountain biking today. Almost died. Almost didn't get to do this live stream because I almost killed myself. I'm gonna make me larger so you can see. But check this out. Like, I ran into 2 different trees. So I got those 2 guys and then that from the one tree. And then this was the other tree. Like, I don't know why I kept running into trees today, but welcome to my life. So yeah, so I have this mountain bike magazine. So this is my analog to an academic document. So on the A5X, you don't have many options right now. There is no zooming. That's coming. So I'm not really super worried about it right now, but eventually I would like to be able to, like, if I want to blow this section up right here, or this small section, or look at this little, text right there, I want to be able to blow that up. So soon that's going to happen. In the meantime, what I do is I just use trimming as a crop tool. And then I will come down here. This is sort of if you already have this device or are getting it and you need some solution while you wait for them to implement pinch to zoom, that's what I do. I use a crop tool and I'll look at it. The downside is now every page is cropped at that level. So that, obviously not helpful for reading. And then to get out of it though, I just go back to trimming and then do adjust, and it will auto bounce back, and then do confirm. And then, so that's what I do if I want to look at something really close. It's not often I do that because I can read pretty much all of this, but I know some of the big academic articles were designed to be like on much bigger paper and then shrunk down. So yeah, so zooming is coming. Split screen is also confirmed to be coming, in which case we'll be able to, flip the tablet and then have your document here and then make notes. So I'm curious to see their implementation of it. QuirkLogic's split screen is my favorite because they allow you to open up anything on either side. Although I don't think and I don't think anybody does allow you to open up the same notebook or the same document across. Like, instead of having, one page, if I turn it sideways, I should be able to open it up like a regular book and then, virtually flip through, but see 2 pages at a time. That would be kind of cool. QuirkLogic is the only one, though, that allows you to open up, a note in one page and a note on the other page, or the same document for that matter, twice. The books devices do split screen, but it's basically on a document, and then you can open up notes for that document or whatever. But and then reMarkable doesn't have a split screen capability yet. So I'm curious to see what Supernote, what Ratta does with the Supernote lineup on that. And then Kindle annotations are not coming. Kindle is it's a third-party app. So just like your other devices, it's going to be an app that runs on the tablet. And so they don't have a, let me find a better book. This is a drawing book. I'm really working on my drawing lately. What do I want to get here? This is always a fun book right here. If I still have it. Oh, it was a library book. Let's just open up one of these. I'm getting to a point here, I promise. Do I have my Wi-Fi on? I do. Open? What am I doing here? Dude, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Plus, my internet is super slow right now because of everything else. So let's pick another book. Oh, I already did that one. I'm an idiot. I haven't downloaded. Let's just go back to the cool stuff one. Okay, let's just do this. Here's something in a Kindle. Now, I can't directly annotate on it with the software because the tablet software is separate. This is just an app. But what I think is really cool and unique about what Ratta has done with the Supernote is they give you the ability to do a screenshot of anything. So I just took a screenshot of this Kindle page. I know this is kind of clunky, but if I go back to my files and go into screenshots and go find that, now Oh, it's ping. Oh, hold on. Sorry, one more clunky level here. Don't worry, this stuff is going to get better. Trust me. I'm just going to create a notebook in here. Actually, I'm not, because I have to move this. This one right here. I'm going to move it to my style. Confirm. And I'll just create a note file here. And then I'm going to change my background layer to customize. And then there's that screenshot I just took of the Kindle book. So now I have the ability to annotate on a Kindle page. Like I said, it's a little clunky, but the world is made of workarounds. So if you can find them, take advantage of them. But, you know, if I had, actually, this is a good sample, because let's say I wanted to practice drawing these things just like they have here. And of course, I'm not really spending any time on it. This would be a good way for me to affect that. So basically, I screenshotted it, I saved it into my styles so that I can use it as a template. And then I can just go to the next page and it's blank again. I can do it all over again. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. Other annotation options are going to be coming, I'm sure, but the ability to annotate on Kindle natively is not going to happen. Thanks for the shout out on the videos. Please like this video. Give me thumbs up. That's always helpful. Yeah, Mark, nothing like the iPad. Gelic on paper is my favorite. Yes, so a lot of people, and I'm not knocking other reviewers because they have their preferences, but the QuirkLogic paper is really scratchy, like very, very, very scratchy. And so a lot of people equate that with good writing feel. And I guess for a lot of people that is, but for me, I kind of like the smoother sort of gel. Like that's why when I buy pens, this is one of my favorite pens right here. Excuse me. It's a 0.7 millimeter gel ink pen, and I like how smooth and how it glides, and it's not tiring. Writing on really scratchy paper to me is a little bit tiring, so I kind of like the smooth feel. Supernote with hard metal pen feels like a fine tip roller ball or ballpoint on a thick. Yeah, thank you, Christine. And I don't have the hard metal pen. It's the same nib, but this is the only pen I have, unfortunately, which is the one that came with this particular unit, which is a really nice pen. I enjoyed it a lot. It's super comfortable. Like a Rocket book cover. Yeah, maybe. I think it's a little thicker than a Rocket book cover, though. I think it's a little thicker. I used to have a Rocket book. I tried that when I was waiting for my reMarkable. So my entrance into this sort of area of technology, like many people, came with the reMarkable. I decided I wanted to get a reMarkable 2, but it was pre-orders and they were months out. So I put in a pre-order, and then while I was waiting, I went and got a Rocket book so I could start trying to figure out what it was like to write things and then have them electronically stored. I spent about a day with the Rocket book and hated it. I don't like writing on that. I don't like the way it feels. It's not an enjoyable writing experience for me at all. So then I went and I got this. I bought the reMarkable 1 while I was waiting. I bought this used off eBay, and it was a great entry point into the reMarkable lineup. And then I got the books. Oh, I just turned on my computer over here. I got a couple of books computers, and then or tablets, and I got the QuirkLogic, and all the time while I'm waiting for the reMarkable 2 to show up. And then I finally got the reMarkable 2, and then I got the A5X. And hang on, let me turn this over. Got a noisy fan. That's my video editing computer, and it's noisy. All right. So thanks everybody that's here, by the way. Everybody that's watching, appreciate you. In the comments, people are putting questions. I'm literally going through, talking, answering questions. Hopefully, the downside of this is I'm looking at them in a linear fashion, and some of you guys may be responding and answering, and then I'll answer and then find out somebody else already answered. That's cool. It is what it is. If you have an answer, don't rate on me to come up with a response. If you've got some helpful tips for me or the people on here, let us know. Okay. Do you think the Supernote A5X is better than the reMarkable on writing, and the standard pen clicking sound too loud or to the point it's annoying? No, as I mentioned, Stefano, that I think the Supernote A5X and the reMarkable are like neck and neck on feel. It's just different feel. I don't notice the clicking at all. So maybe I'm just used to writing with pens. I mean, I can kind of, like, when I put the pen tip down, I can hear it, but it's not a click as much as it is. I had the same thing with the marker, the reMarkable marker. So yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't notice it. Yeah, it is what it is. Some of my practice drawings. Okay, we'll go there. Supernote would likely hold up to a drop in its case compared to the reMarkable. Yeah, true point. So, thank you, Athlete. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry. Yeah, true. One of the selling points for the reMarkable, for the Supernote, is its design is all plastic. It's got a plastic-based e-ink display. It's got a plastic body. Now, not saying that metal is a bad idea or glass, but on the area of fragility, this is glass and hello. And then, of course, we have aluminum on the back. Or is that glass? That might be. Oh, that's glass on the back, too, I think. I think that's glass with an aluminum frame. Yeah, I never noticed that. I never looked at the back. If anybody knows, but I'm looking at it, I think that's glass on the back as well. Probably the same glass, maybe. Uh-oh, live view. I do like how it fits into the case with a magnet. That's pretty solid. But, even better is how this one, let's see which camera. This one has that little slot that the case slips into. So it's never coming off. I have seen people complain about dropping the reMarkable and it pops out of its case. You won't see that with the Supernote anyway. Tips for my dad when he sets up his Supernote. He's getting it on Thursday. I want to make sure he's up and running quickly and using it for business. The best tip I have is just to play around with it and figure out what your workflow is, because that's really going to dictate how you use it. If you haven't seen my workflow video, I did post that a little while ago on this channel, where I went sort of like what my day-to-day is. This sidebar. So first of all, the cool thing about when you get your Supernote and you turn it on for the very first time, it has like a little mini tutorial and shows you where all the key things are, which is kind of cool. So it has you do these tasks, like do this, open that, do that. And that's helpful because it helps you get used to the device. But once you get used to being able to pop open this sidebar here, like it opens up a lot of opportunities, because inside the document, you have your menu for the document and your pen choices and erase choices and all that. But you pop this up and you can bounce to different things. You can look at your file system. You go to your last document. You go to your notes. I don't know what your dad plans to use it for, but one thing I settled on pretty quickly is using a PDF document as my day planner. So I annotate on that basically as my day-to-day. And I'll open that up, but I want to open it up off camera because I'm not in a position to blur anything that might be personal or work related. I'll just open it up and go to a blank page here. Yes, that was a good call. Wow. Okay. I'm actually on today. This is just a large PDF document, 367 pages, that I can flip through the pages on and then write my stuff as I go. Once I settle on that, it made everything else sort of come into place, because when I try and use notepads for this, then I'm bouncing between notepads. But now that it's a document, it means I can bounce between documents and notes. And if I open up notes, it takes me to my notes. I pull it down, I open up document, it takes me to my last document. So I really found that was helpful. And the other thing is the ability to set quick access, which right there, add quick access. And then now that will set it down there for the page. So you can see I've got two down there now. The 15th, which is the last quick access that I had set up. And then the one I just did is page 18. So quick access takes you to the physical page that you basically bookmarked. And that's something that a lot of people haven't quite figured out. So if you set a document on page 1 as quick access, and then you get to it, you're always going to go to page 1 because that's what you set. So you can see here, I have the same document set with 2 different places for quick access. I don't want to quick access to the other one because it's a work day. But you see the point. So what I do when I work my planner is I'll remove the quick access, and you do that by coming up into here and going cancel quick access. And then I change the day, and then I just say add quick access. And now what you'll see is quick access is on the 19th instead of the 18th. And that's how I get through my days. So, but I had to start using a PDF document for my planning, and then figuring out those little things were super helpful. You can do the same thing in a note. Quick access isn't limited to notes. I can add quick access to this page in my note, and you can now see it right there. I've got that randomly generated title for a note, and it's page 6, and I just click it takes me to page 6 of that notebook. So you can do that. How can you organize notes on the Supernote versus the RM2? So Carolina, if you haven't seen my my workflow on the A5X video, go watch that. I'm trying to figure out actually now how that looks in the reMarkable. And to be honest with you, I literally just why am I in live view? I don't know. I should stop being all handsy. I literally just rehacked the device today, because I want to get to the point where I can bounce around between documents in the same way I can with the A5X. And without hacking it, I really have a hard time figuring out how I want to get around. So let me change modes here. Yeah, so you have to swipe down, and then you've got your files, and then you go. So I was finding myself having to go like navigate through the folder structures to get to the things that I wanted to look at, and then when I open that up, I'm done with it, and then I close it, and then I close it, and then I go back to the menu and my files, and then go to the next thing. And when I hacked it, now you can see I have a recent files here, which made things much easier to navigate. It's a little bit more like quick launching and quick access on the Supernote. And I can get to that. Let me go into quick sheets here. I think it's swipe up with 2 fingers and you get that. Or pull down with 2 fingers and it automatically flips you back and forth between. So, but I had to hack the device to do that, and I did a video on how to hack it if you're interested. It was pretty easy. Without hacking it, I don't know. I don't think I can navigate it in the same way. So those of you who are used to working on the reMarkable, like props to you, because the Supernote was so much more intuitive on navigation for me, manipulating and getting back and forth around a bunch of different documents. So I have to hack the reMarkable, and I still haven't quite got it down. But what I think I'm going to do is sometime in the next few days, I'm going to convert my entire workflow to the reMarkable to see if I can imitate it on that, now that I've got something set that I know that works for me. Yeah, drop protection. I think I saw a video where like the Supernote guys like drop a Supernote from 5 feet in the air. It's kind of like people do iPhone testing in the same way. We should do a drop test. If people want to send me tablets, send me one of everything, I will do the most epic drop test video you've ever seen in your life. So manufacturers, pay attention. I'll do that. A5X has flexible Mobius screens with a lot more rugged. Yes. Yeah, the boxes are glass and metal. With the exception of the Note 3. The Note 3 is the flexible Mobius and the plastic, and I by far love the Note 3 way more than the Note Air. Like, I don't know why everybody is all sold on the Note Air. It's no question. If I hold the two in my hand, instantly I like the Note 3, not the Note Air. But that's, by the way, I don't have that either. I got rid of it. I don't have any of my notes anymore. The Cork Logic I returned and got my money back and had to pay a restocking fee. The only devices left in my current arsenal are the Supernote and the two reMarkables. Yeah. And I'm probably going to sell this reMarkable 1 here pretty soon, because I got it just to hold me over until I got the reMarkable 2. But yeah, these are the ones now that I'm with currently. For A5X, in theory, should receive mine. Yes. Ouch. It's funny. You mentioned returning the RM2. True story. I tried to cancel my reMarkable 2 order in plenty of time, mind you. I did get the confirm your shipping address email, and I'm like, okay, it's do or die now. If I'm going to keep it, I should keep it. If I want to cancel it, I should cancel it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cancel it. Like, I'll be fine with the Note. At that time, it was the Note 3. Then I'm like, I'll just keep the Note 3. I'll be fine. And I tried to cancel it. I sent them a note, and they did not read my email. Okay, quote, let me change that. They did not respond to my email for over a week, and then said, oh, it's too late. We already sent it for procurement to ship it. So if they would have responded to me immediately, I might have been able to stop them, because there's no way it was already too late. They were just confirming information at that point. So I had at least another week until it actually started to ship, but they didn't get back to me in time. So I ended up with it anyway, and I'm kind of glad I did. It's fun to play with. There's something magical about the reMarkable that, like, I can't put my finger on it. Ouch, please show how the digest function works. Is it limited to PDF, EPUB? Does it work for Kindles? Okay, so digest function on the A5X. First of all, it does not work on Kindles. Kindle's a separate app, just sort of now packaged with and accessible through the UI. But all of the markup features and all that stuff are not available. It's basically you're opening up Kindle and then you're closing Kindle. The only exception is they give you access to do that screenshot while you have the Kindle device or the Kindle app loaded. But the way Digest works, let's go back to, let me go back to, what document do I have open? Oh, that was that one. So you can get to things a couple of ways. I can either close this out, which takes you back to the file system, and I can look around and navigate the file system this way, or I can come in here and choose files, which gets me back to the same place. I usually come in and hit files, so I'm always starting at the same place, because if I open a document in a folder, in a folder, in a folder, and I hit back, I start there and I've got to backtrack. So just a fun tip there. Where was I going? Oh, books. I was going to get the mountain bike magazine or, okay, EPUB. Let's start with an EPUB. So digest, you can deal with EPUBs or PDFs. So for example, I have this EPUB, and what you want to do is draw brackets around text. And sometimes it misses, and in this case it actually missed. So I haven't figured out if it's me or if I'm doing the bracket in a weird way. But you can see here it underlines the text and then puts a little D there. And if you click on that, it takes you to this page with that text sort of snipped out, like a little bookmark. So fun note, if you expand it, you can see the whole thing. So if I made a whole bunch of text, it's only going to show me a little bit of a preview, and then I can expand it and collapse it from here. You can only make notes in the collapse state. So if I try to make a note down here, it's not going to work. I have to collapse it first, and then I'll see the little pen there. And then I can make notes. Makes notes. I can make notes. The thing that kind of frustrates me about this, and I'm sure Supernote guys will be watching this, I have a pen and erase function, but I don't have the ability to change the pen style. Like I have this one pen, and I would prefer to write in a little bit of a thicker pen, but unless I'm missing something, I can't figure out. I can go between pen and erase, but I can't change anything about it. So that's one little quirk that I don't like. So I've got this digest. I can go back and get back to my book. Again, I sort of like missed that, and I don't know if it's me. Let me try and I'll grab this. And supposedly, I think you can span pages. And then I'll grab this. Going to capture it. Oh, I didn't do it. I'm trying to show off now. Yeah, I ruined that. Let me go back. Erase this. Digest, to be honest with you, is something I have not played with a lot. Erase that. I'm going to try this again, though. I thought it could span pages. I may be wrong. It did work there anyway. But then I can click that, go in. This is interesting. And then I've got my digest and go back to my book. So what I like about this is you can literally just make notes, and it gives you hyperlinked access to your notes. Now that I've done that, let me go to my mountain bike magazine right here. And something interesting. It is what it is. How about this? Did I get it? Nope. And I don't know, again, if it's me. Oh, it did get that. Okay. Tubeless sealant, high performance tubeless tires. I actually need some of this. I'm out of sealant, and my tires are showing it. So PDF now and ebook or EPUB. I can come in here and go to digest, and I can see a list of all of my digests. So I have two here. One was from the mountain bike magazine, and one was from Humble Pie. And you can see how many of them you have. So if I click mountain bike magazine, it'll show me my digest from mountain bike magazine. And you can tell it show comments only, in which case that one doesn't work because I don't have any comments on. Wait, yes I do. Hold on. I thought I put something in there. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it didn't save for some reason. Show comments only. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I thought this would just show you your comment notes. So either I'm doing something wrong or there's something buggy there. But anyway, you can see now I have all of my Humble Pie digests. And I like the way it puts the cover page of the document there, the name of the document, and then all of them are consolidated on there. So if you are doing a bunch of research and you had a whole bunch of things you want to make notes on, you can have them organized by your documents. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully that helps you with digest mode. I think the paper allows for split screen. Yes, it does. I think it's the best one. And you've probably already heard me answer that. Favorite books device, Note 3, no question. Happy to help. How does the weight differ? The weight between, I'm assuming the weight between the reMarkable 2 and the Supernote A5X is probably what is being asked. They feel very similar. Hold on. Oh, let's solve this with a kitchen scale. My wife's probably like, what the heck is he doing? All right, so I'm in ounces. 13.5 ounces or 383 grams. And 352 grams for the Supernote or 12.4 ounces. So the Supernote A5X is lighter than the reMarkable 2, and you'll notice I did that with the pens on them. So that includes the writing utensil that you are likely to have with you. So there you go. Definitive answer, Supernote is lighter. Pull the reMarkable apart due to damage. The RM2 backing is plastic. Interesting. What about the front? Isn't the front glass? I don't know. I always thought this top piece was glass, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Once. Do you have any problems with jagged lines on the RM2? So that's an interesting question that I don't know. Like, I haven't done a jagged line fix on the reMarkable, and I'm in a marker, but hey, it is what it is. Let me change to a fine liner and we'll make it thick. So you can see it. By the way, the hack gives you a bunch of options. Instead of like thin, medium, and thick, you get even more. We'll do that in black. That was weird. So I can't draw a straight line with it because of something interfering right there. But what none of the lines are straight, but they're not jagged to me. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I don't have a jagged line problem. I have a straight line problem. That is weird. That's a little jaggedy on north to south. But yeah, to be honest with you, that stuff, like I don't draw straight lines. This is the extent of my artistic ability in drawing. So I don't notice if these are jagged or not. So it doesn't really bother me. I might have that problem that everybody's worried about, but I don't nitpick those little things, I guess. So, athlete followed by your initials. Well, that makes so much more sense, JMV. Thank you for that. Because I'm like, man, that is like, I've seen a lot of interesting names, but I'm trying to figure out how to sound that out, and it just wasn't working. Yes, Gary, do you know if Supernote plans to add a pencil writing tool? They absolutely do. As a matter of fact, it's on their website. Let me see here. Supernote.com. I feel like there was something. I'm just looking real quick to see if I see it. But yeah, but I do know I'm nearly 99% positive that pencil is in the works. And I'm hoping and potentially more. Oh yeah, there's that drop test here. Let me do this. This is a Supernote website. So you can see this guy dropping. So I thought somewhere in here was some indicator of a pencil. I saw it somewhere. It may not have been their website. Anyway, I'm 99% sure pencil is in the works, and so and potentially other. I would like to see other paint type markers. RM2 is an anodized aluminum frame, glass front with thin adhesive film and a plastic backing. Okay. Thanks. I'm going to call you athlete now. Appreciate you taking time. Happy to do it, Carolina. What about jagged lines on the RM? Just went through that. Don't notice. Maybe I'm not picky enough. Since you own an iPad as well, what iPad note packing app do you wish was on the reMarkable and Supernote? I love Notability on iPad Pro and own RM2. Just ordered the A5X. Glenn, I can't answer that question for you, honestly. And the reason is because I haven't used an iPad for note-taking in the way that I would use it if I bought an iPad today. I know that sounds weird, but for me, iPad has always been like a multimedia device. And yeah, I don't sit around with it. I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Like, I can't show it to you because it's actually one of the camera feeds you're looking at right now. But like, I would rather have a big phone than carry around a separate tablet. So I never got into note taking on the iPad. So I couldn't even tell you. I've never been able to get into things like Evernote and Todoist and all those other things either, like the productivity tools, which I know you can get on the iPad that are not available on the e-ink tablets right now. I just never got into it. So I'm a horrible person to ask that question to because I just don't know. Although if I did have an iPad I do have an iPad. If I use my iPad, which I don't use my iPad, actually, I should probably just sell it. But if I used it for note taking, I would definitely get a paper fill screen protector on it because that changes everything about how it feels. As a matter of fact, to me, the books tablets are unusable unless you do that. So, side note, the reMarkable One still worth buying? Yeah, I think the reMarkable One is an awesome device. If I had to choose between the reMarkable One or the Supernote A5X, well, they're two different sizes. So I would choose a Supernote without a question. If it was between a reMarkable One and a Supernote, A5X or A6X, I would get the Supernote, no question. Over a reMarkable One. Over a reMarkable 2 right now, yeah, I would get the Supernote over reMarkable. If I didn't have them both here and I had to make a decision, or if I had to give one back and I had to make a decision, I'm probably keeping the Supernote. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it fits my workflow better. There are things the reMarkable does very well. And like I said, I keep saying this, there's something magical about it that makes me drawn to it and I want to love it. But it's not as refined in the UI as now. It's way more refined in the drawing ability, right? Right now, they're the only ones that have a pencil that can detect side strokes. So, for example, you're not going to get this kind of stuff on anything. I swear that's drawing really lightly, but my gosh, you can't see it at all. But yeah, so boy, that's not very sensitive. It must. I wonder if it's this nib I'm using. But yeah, things like that, the reMarkable is way better at, which is way more than I know what to do with. Like, I'm not a good pencil drawer. You see the capabilities I have here. So I don't think that is lost on me. Like, I'm not using that. Whereas the Supernote has the user interface that works well with me, and with this side menu became a game changer for me. So that's really what it boils down to for me. I like the 1, but between the 1 and the 2 on the reMarkable, there's no question I would rather have a reMarkable 2. It's a much more refined device. I had a problem with the buttons on the reMarkable 1 that I would always accidentally hit the buttons while I'm drawing or writing. And so I had to get a hack on this specifically so I could turn the buttons off, which is the same. It's the same hack, the DDBK hack. Oh, I can't pick that up. And you'll see here RM, buttons on or off. That's because of these, people would hit them all the time. So without the hack, I would constantly close out of my own documents, and that was super annoying. So yeah, back to which would I pick? I would pick the Supernote right now. And some more reasons, right? So I talked about the refined UI. The company has been really, really good about paying attention to what the user base wants, and they're constantly refining and updating. And we're looking at updates on a monthly schedule, so far as I can see, based on how they're talking. So whereas reMarkable is very slow to update, and they don't seem to be really digging into improvements in a way that I think that Supernote and the Ratta company and the Supernote team is doing. And the customer service, unfortunately, reMarkable suffering because of their perspective of customer service right now. So because of that, I would take those things into consideration. Worth noting, the RM1 is larger. Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you. Strong magnets to hold up. The RM2 pen, the magnets are pretty good. I knock it off all the time, though. And no, I can't do it because I'm show and tell, but it does come off pretty easy for me, particularly if you hit it on the, you cantilever it off. It's pretty good, but I do drop it. Hopefully you can see that. I've given you a couple of camera views, hoping that one of them would capture things of interest. So yeah, definitely not like this where it just doesn't come off. But I've heard of people saying that their caps have been breaking off because it's so snug, and mine is not snug, by the way, in the loop. This pin is not, this particular pin I have. I'm probably more likely to break off the clip of the cap than anything else before something happens. But the cool thing is people were complaining that their pin caps were breaking. And so what the Ratta team did in response is say they're going to give them all replacement caps, and future versions of the pen are going to be a better design based on that feedback. So those are the reasons why I think Supernote is really, the Supernote lineup is really killing it. Have you tried the Samsung S Pen? Yes, I have it right here. My favorite pen for the reMarkable is the S Pen. What I do like about it that it doesn't give me is the ability to erase with the button by default, which is why I've been using the marker, because I can erase with the marker. Now there is a hack to make this button work, also a DDVK hack. It's the Wacom button hack or something like that. But I haven't installed it yet. So until then, all my, it seems to, yeah, it doesn't do anything. I was wondering if it changes when I press the button, if it changed the the diameter of the pencil, but I think it's just my pressure that's doing it. So yeah, so I like the S Pen. It's comfortable. I like the feel. It's lightweight. I don't necessarily need a heavy pen. I know some people like the weight and the heft. I don't really need that. I like a lightweight pen. But the thing that bothered me the most is that eraser function didn't work, and I haven't hacked it yet. So I've been going back to the Marker Plus. Get them all? Okay. There we go. Thank you. It's a significant difference. I've also heard a lot of complaints on reMarkable being too slow, so I don't know. So I've had this question a few times about the UI speed between the two. So I'm going to cover this real quick. I don't know what time it is. I'm just going to go until you guys stop talking to me. Probably not, because you guys will keep me here forever, but I'm going to go for as long as I can. So the UI, let me get both of these in screen. And let me, I guess I will get rid of that for now so you can see. So let me get into something. Let me get into a note here. All right, so I'm in a note, and ballpoint pen. And I'm just going to go back and forth. Fine liner. Oops, I guess I need to. So interesting. This could be the hack too. Selecting the item closes the window as well. Whereas here, it doesn't quite close it because you've got some other options that you can get to on the same menu. So it's kind of a open, and then you tap to clean it away once you've made your selections. So if I select my color, my size, and then every pen has its own options, except for the highlighter. Highlighter just has color options, or shades. I'm spitting everywhere. I don't think the UI is all that different. I'm going to close both of these. Menu, PDFs, Supernote, document, church. I don't have the same documents on here. Menu, my files, Supernote, note. Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty comparable. So I don't know that I would say one is remarkably, no pun intended, faster than the other one. I'll put that back on in case you guys need that view or like it. How is the export function in A5X with regards to notes, annotation, and digest feature? That's a great question. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't export a lot ever. But let's just take a look at this. So I have the delete. What happens if I hold this? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know how to export digests. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be something that would be easy to figure out, but now that I'm in here and you're asking me, I'm like, I don't know how to export. I know how to bounce back and forth. I know how to get to the document from a digest. That's a great question. I don't know an answer. Maybe there is no way. I'm not going to say there's not. I'm going to say I don't know how. Good point. So maybe Supernote will jump in, and I keep calling them Supernote because that's the product, but it's Ratta is the company. Supernote is the product. It's like calling an iPhone an Apple or the other way around. So sorry, I can't help you with that. I own the 12 Pro Max. It's an awesome phone. Note taking with pencilable notability. So nice glass thing. Yeah. Yeah, Glenn, put a paper fill screen protector. That Elecom screen protector is amazing. I really like it. I've done a couple videos on it, putting it on the Books Note 3 and the Note Air. Put that on your iPad, dude. That will feel great. The downside, right, is it changes in iPad. An iPad is now no longer a glossy, high color display. It's this muted matte display. So, right, I guess that's a problem with having a multitasker. It sucks at everything, or it's not excellent at anything and barely does everything well. So, yeah, Stefano called it. Tech Armor, okay, cool. reMarker holds better if you put more towards the middle than the top. Really? Okay. Oh, I just moved my screen here. So holds better if you put it towards the middle. You think right here it holds better? Man, I don't know. That's way worse for me. Like, noticeably worse. There's a, like, if I move it, I can feel it sort of jump between the magnets, and right there is the strongest magnet hold. I can still knock it off pretty easy though. Yeah, for me, up at the top is the best magnet hold, no question. The middle feels like it's just barely hanging in there. So maybe they've changed it since I got mine. Not sure. Can show how the note folder system works. Can you create folders to keep notes organized? Jeff, are you talking about the A5X? I think you are. So we're going to talk about it. So yeah, so you can create folders. Both of these, actually, you can create folders. So I have a folder. So Supernote, the way they've done this is, and I think this has sort of evolved over time. Originally, they had the concept that all documents are going to end up in a document folder and all notes are going to end up in a notes folder. So they have it split between documents and notes. I honestly don't like that. If you see how I have it in the reMarkable, my files, like I want everything in the root. I want to organize my folder structure. I don't want to have to go into documents and notes. So with that said, you can do whatever you want in any folder. You can create a note in any folder. Like I can go to the My Style folder, which is technically a place to store templates, custom templates, and I can create a note or a Word file in this folder, or I can create another folder in this folder. So Supernote has given you the flexibility. It's weird that there's not just a root folder that I can just build off of. Like if we take notes and documents and combine that into one folder that's called, My Stuff, I would start there and just build everything out of there. I don't really like having to bounce back and forth, and I don't have to, because I can put notes and notes and documents and documents, but the folder structure is there, so I've been trying to use it. And you cannot create a new folder at this level. They don't give you that option. But we'll just say, for the sake of starting in notes, you can come in here and create a folder and then call it whatever you want. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about is their handwriting to text is really good, with the understanding that it can't handle spaces in anything. So if you remember that, you're good. So this is a new, and then you hit the space bar, and then you write what you want to write, and you hit the space bar. Oh, well, that didn't get it. See, now I'm showing off, and it did not get folder. I hit the space bar too soon. So we'll see what its options are here. It will give you options. It did kind of get it. I'm going to capitalize it instead, though. But you have to hit the space bar. If I were to type new space folder, it tries to convert it all into one word and then just doesn't know what to do. So that's one thing I learned from here is you have to treat this at a word at a time. And once you do that, it's actually pretty good. I keep saying it's good, and then it doesn't get it. That's because I'm writing horribly. Yeah. So that works well. And it's the same thing when you're in Notes. So I created a new folder, and then I can go in that folder and create a new folder, and then you can go in and nest them as much as you want. So, for example, my organization is, I have things separated into work and life. And that's because work things stay in work and life things stay in life. And I try and keep my work stuff separate so that I'm messing around. I'm not like intermingling that. When I go to work, I'm in work mode. That's where I stay. So that's how I have that. And then inside work, I have other folders for meetings with different people, and then meetings of different topics and things like that. So you can organize really well in folders, and you can do that with both of these. The same exact thing with the reMarkable. Video on how to hack this S Pen eraser when you'll do it. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I probably should. I should probably do that, and I'll do a video when I do. It should be as easy as everything else. What do you think about the fact that reMarkable team does not hear its customers, the product is lagging behind in the competition? I think that's a major setback for them. I think that they would be the company to beat. And companies like Ratta can come in with not only a really creative and innovative product, but with an eye towards customer service and development, and just steal the show. And I think QuirkLogic is probably going to be one of those heavy hitters once they get a little bit more refined in their software offering. I think reMarkable dropped the ball. Like, there's so many people that have placed orders that are canceling or getting them and then turning them back in. And a lot of them are mostly because they're concerned about customer service support. So yeah, I think they really lost an opportunity there. Excuse me. They literally should have hired like college interns. Like, I don't know how it works wherever they are. Where are they? Norway? They're not in Norway. They're in, I don't remember where they are, to be honest with you. Wherever they're at, they should like hire a college intern to sit and do customer service stuff, like and social media. That would be cool. Where is reMarkable at? Somebody will tell me. Good notes. Okay, trying to get through here. What do you think about? Got that. Can't put a screen sticky on the beautiful. Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't want a paper feel screen protector on my iPhone, because I bought the iPhone because of its beautiful display. What do you think about the fact? Boy, I have got to scroll. Oh, good. We're getting down to the end here. Not good as in I'm tired of you, but good as that I'm making some headway here. What do you think of screen share on Supernote? They said this feature is beta testing, is still unstable, and they will add it when it's ready. I don't know anything about how screen share works. I think it would be cool. I know a lot of people who want to use devices like this for like Zoom conference calls and display sharing, where they can come in and draw and sketch in front of a group of people online. I think that's going to be huge. I have played with the reMarkable one. It's not something I really use. It's pretty easy to turn on and use. But as a matter of fact, yeah, if somebody wants to see it, I'll show it. But so if the Supernote has that ability, I think it would be cool. I think there's probably some time better spent on some of the other UI improvements and things like that. But I think it's awesome. Hi, Jonathan. Have you tried the mobile app for Supernote? Yes, I have tried it. It works pretty well, and actually allows you to, I believe it allows you to open notes. I can't use my phone right now. I do not do any Supernote cloud syncing though. So this is sort of a personal decision for me. And I generally don't do it with the reMarkable, although I have it set right now to sync with the reMarkable cloud for testing. The reMarkable uses Google cloud services. The Supernote uses one of two server locations. One of them is in China and one of them is in Japan. And so they did give an option to use Dropbox syncing. So I have taken that option and I use Dropbox. So I'm saying all that to say, so I don't really use the iPhone app for Supernote because that syncs with their Supernote servers. Instead, I use Dropbox. The downside of using Dropbox is you can't open the .note files or the whatever the note annotations are. I can't remember the file extension for that. You can't open those natively. So what you'll need to do is on your device, export them off as a PDF, and then you can sync them and read them. But I use it more for just backup, just in case for now. But yeah, you do get to pick between a Japan server and a China server. Now, keep this in mind for what it's worth. The data storage on those servers are subject to the laws and regulations of the countries where they reside. So China's going to have different security issues than Japan is when it comes to can they have that data encrypted, who can have access to it, all of that stuff. So if you're security conscious, you think about things like that. And so Japan has a much more similar structure, I believe, to the United States, where, you know, that stuff can be protected and encrypted at rest and things like that. But so I just use Dropbox because that's there. I kind of trust Dropbox more than anything else, although I'd rather have Google Drive. So I'm hoping that comes up soon, but I don't do a lot of syncing. Now, one thing I will say that Supernote has done, which I wish the reMarkable would do, and that is, by the way, two ways to get to the menu. You can either swipe down to get the sidebar and then click the Supernote. I don't know what's on here, so hold on. Okay. So yeah, I was in the screensaver menu last. Or you can swipe down from the top and then click the gear, and it will take you to the same place. But two ways to get to the menu. I was going to look at synchronize. Hold on. I don't really want my account stuff to be visible, and it's actually not. This might be a bug. Yeah, it's not letting me open up. I think if I reboot, it will probably work. Let me see. It's a shame too, because I really wanted to show this. Yeah, see, and I'm not logged into Supernote, so I can't get that far. Let me try one more time here. Supernote, synchronize, Dropbox, settings, synchronize, folders. It says loading, and then it doesn't load. So I'm not sure why exactly, but maybe I'll reboot that later and see if it works. But when that happens, you can select which folders you want to synchronize. So like work, I can uncheck it, and life, I can check it, and then only work is only life is synchronized and work isn't. So that's something that I wish everybody would give you the ability to choose what you synchronize, because see, my pen just fell off. I don't know if you guys heard that. I have a glass floor mat, and my reMarkable pen hit it. Eventually, I'm sure I'm going to break it. The reMarkable is like all the others. Generally, you sync all or nothing, which is one of the things QuirkLogic really had that caught my attention, was the ability to have a private side and a cloud side, and the private side never gets synced. So I like that kind of stuff. I like thinking about security and giving us options with that. It's on Google Drive. Yes. Yeah. Things like Google Drive and Dropbox they go through a lot of, particularly Google services and Amazon services, and to a degree Dropbox, I'm sure. I don't know to what degree. They go through a lot of vetting in their security posture and their scalability and their data protection and availability, so backups and things like that, because a lot of major companies and government entities use their services. So they go through a lot of scrutiny. So if it's between choosing something like Google, that, even though, yeah, granted, Google's trying to, advertise to me, so they're probably using my personal information to target ads or whatever. But I know that they've at least been vetted in their server farms have been vetted in how they do things. I don't know anything about Supernote's servers that they have sitting in Japan or China. And if they go offline one day, do I have access to my stuff or do I lose it? Now, I don't think there's going to be a problem. And the same thing goes with reMarkable. reMarkable uses Google Cloud services. So if reMarkable goes out of business, I might still have access to my documents for a while because they just don't turn off the Google servers. Maybe they will. I don't know. I didn't like the books syncing either because it goes to random server. I don't know who manages it in China. Not that the China part's bad necessarily, but I just don't know anything about where my data is going and how it's being taken care of. So I tend to lean towards things like Dropbox and Google Drive because at least I know that there's sort of some redundancy built in and they're vetted. And if I had to pick between Supernote China services or Japan services, I'm leaning towards probably Japan services servers. Keep doing drawing note videos on the Supernote A5X. Yeah, it's interesting, Stefano, on the drawing. I don't remember where I put that drawing. Maybe it's in Life. It should be. And yeah, it's in this one here, I think. Oh yeah, this was my, where did my, I don't remember where I put that drawing. Let me look at my recent docs here. Get the one page. That's my fluorescent light replacements. Yeah, I don't remember where my drawing went, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to it. See, this is the problem with having too many folders to start in, is I don't remember where I put that. And I don't have anything to search off because I didn't create a title. Let me look one more time here. Your Note Life. Oh, maybe I created it. I created a bunch of stupid stuff in my style one time. Anyway, yes. So that drawing, wherever that drawing is in my, see, I got to get better at, wait a second. Here's an export of a digest. Wait, who asked that question? Whoever asked that question about exporting digests. Yes, Pradima. I have done this before. I have exported digests. So for the life of me, I just can't remember, I guess, how to do it right now. But here is a couple of exports of digest content. So it can be done. I just clearly forgot how to do it. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. Boom, right there. Export. So once you're in, that's entirely 100% my fault because I forgot how to do it and it wasn't working for me. So this digest document I created where I said change the pen style. Come on, work for me. Huh. Why is it not doing it on that one? We saw this just work, right? You guys are with me. Oh, there it is. Oh, golly, man. I'm so dumb. All right, so this is the key. not inside the actual digest, in the list of digests, if you click and hold for a second, you can select, multi-select, and then export. And it exported them, and then now I can go into my files, export, and here are the exports. And it exported them all into the same PDF document. Oh, thank you. Whew, I was worried. I'm like, certainly there has to be a way to export digest. Like, why would you go through all that trouble and you can't export it? So there we go. That was it. It was totally my fault. Go in there, go to your digest, pick which document you want. So here's the mountain bike one. Click and hold, export. All right. I feel better. I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about before I found that? Oh, drawing videos. Yeah, so even though I can't find where I put that one's only 2 pages. This has got to be it here. This is 6 pages. Yeah. So this drawing here, I actually tried this a little bit today, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that simple drawing on the reMarkable. And I'm not good enough with the reMarkable yet, but the key here is you have black ink, you have dark gray, you have light gray, and then you have white, which you can't see if I write on it. So with the reMarkable, I have marker. Here you can see this. I can go thick, and I have black, and I have, oops, gray. I don't have a third lighter gray option. So I'm like, what is such a simple thing to draw a character that uses black, dark gray, and light gray, and white? I'm like, how do I do this? Somebody tell me how you do this. But so obviously I can draw the outline, oops, in black. Let me just do this again. Black. So I can draw an outline in black, right? Just like I did, backpack. And then I can use the gray, and I would normally do this on different layers. I would use the gray for this bottom shade. But on this part here, where I would use a lighter gray, like, I'm not sure what my best choice is, honestly. I only have three shades, so what I was thinking is maybe the pencil, and then like do shading. I can't get a consistent shade color. I think that's probably the only way to achieve that, unless we start getting into like cross-hatching, you know, colors, which I'm not an artist, so trust me, this is why I struggle. Drawing that on the Supernote was really super easy, no pun intended. Drawing that on the reMarkable, that's not so easy, and I'm struggling with that. So that's why I want to spend more time with the reMarkable. I've been playing with the Supernote for so long straight that I want to try some other things. Please do post when Ratta sends out updates. Yes, I plan to do that if they're willing to let me do any testing or demo work as well. I'm trying to see if I can get in there. But if they do an update, I will install the update and show you what's new. for sure, because I think that's super helpful for me. What third-party apps does Ratta plan to introduce? Don't know all of them. I'm trying to think if I know any of them. By the way, to get to the apps, go to the menu, go to go to application, sorry. And then right here is third-party application management. Oh, helps if I bring the screen down. And you can see there's Kindle. That's where I installed that. So let me go back here. Application, third-party, and then Kindle, it said install. I hit it, it installed it, and I'm good to go. So there's nothing else there yet, obviously. I'm guessing more reader options and or potentially like productivity options, but I don't know. Like I really don't know. I do know that they're trying to integrate, or they're about to integrate. They're working on development now, a calendar function. So when you come down here, you should be able to have a calendar option, and it'll take you a calendar, which I think could be useful depending on how they integrate it into the UI. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But I don't really have any good intel on what other third-party apps they have planned. Supernote's Kindle app work the same as it does. Yes. So speaking of Kindle, so I don't even need the pen for this. It's just like every other. I can come in here. This is probably a bad one. I can adjust fonts, sizes. Obviously, backlight doesn't work, so that doesn't matter. But I can increase text sizes. This is a bad page to do this on because it's drawing. And then once I'm in here reading, I am pretty sure I can bookmark. Yep, I can bookmark. Let me get to an actual page. If you click and hold, you can highlight. So it's got all the same stuff as a regular Android Kindle app, which, look, I have a Kindle right here, an Oasis, a legit like Kindle. I have the same problems operating this as I do so same thing where you can like highlight stuff. You can do the same thing. But yeah, but I wonder if doing it actually with the pen would make it easier. Yeah, this is way easier than my fat finger. So here's a pro tip: use a pen, including, look, Wikipedia. Oh, come on! I swear I've been able to do that. Translate. Can I translate this to Japanese? It's got network access. It should, unless I'm offline right now, which it depends on which network I'm on. I don't know. Anyway, yes, in theory, it does all the same stuff as a regular Kindle app. Can you highlight text, add notes, and export the entire book and or flattened version with the annotations? I don't think you can do anything like that with whatever you can do in the Kindle app on Android is what you can do with this, I think. So I literally use it to read, and I don't even use that. I use this. Where I think it's cool to have Kindle on here is for things just like I showed you, where if I want to screenshot something to practice, like I want to learn how to draw this tiered cake, I'll screenshot it, and then I can have it or quickly reference it and go back and forth. Or if I just, if I'm bored, this never happens, but if I'm bored at work and I just wanted to pull up a book or something and thumb through it just to kill time, and then I could be quickly back in my notepad whenever I want. So finally, Ratta add landscape mode. I think landscape mode is probably in the works, although I don't have any evidence of that. I think they're smart enough to know that that would be super useful. And while they're already doing things to make PDF viewing better, that seems logical. Although there just may be some technical challenges with that, right? reMarkable doesn't do that. Text reflow is a little bit more complicated in that. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't come up with that capability. Okay, Prathama, glad you saw that. You saw I could export the digest. That was super important that I figured that out for you, because I thought you could do it, and I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it done. Reading and marking sheet music. Okay. Yes, Daniel, for reading and marking sheet music, it would be awesome as soon as pinch to zoom becomes available, which is not available yet. Until that time, you're sort of limited, and I don't know when you came into this conversation, but you're sort of limited to doing a workaround. I'm going to select a background layer, and I must have missed it. Background layer. I think they have sheet music in here. Yeah, so let's just do this. Apply. And let's just get rid of all of that. So yeah, so if I was down here, that's 4-wire. We'll make it more realistic. Staff. I don't know why I didn't pick staff to begin with. Right now you can't do much. Helps if I give a pen, and let's make it not a marker. Yeah. So you could come in here and do your musical stuff. Don't play this because it's probably going to be a really bad song. Right now there's no way to zoom in on that, and that's sort of the downside. As soon as they get pinch to zoom or select to zoom, honestly, I like select to zoom better than pinch to zoom. I know everybody wants pinch to zoom. So zoom to selection, make sure I don't use the wrong pen on this. The ability to come in here and just select something and have it become where I'm working, and then be able to, back down out of that. I forget, double tap? Is it double tap to get out of that? I thought there was a way to get back and forth. The problem with using too many devices is now I suck at all of them. I'm not real good at any of them anymore. But again, let's do this. Zoom selection. Like, I think that's super useful. So I hope that they do a zoom to selection, because then what I could do is, like, right here, just, hit this. Now, I can make that bigger. I guess, and then this is where I was talking about workarounds, and then I can edit it. Let's say I wanted to get rid of that, and let's bring it down on the same side. But then what I have to do is select it all back down and then reshrink it. So not ideal, and then now I've got to figure out how to put it back on the lines, right? So that's all we can do right now. That could work in a pinch, but to me that would be too frustrating. If you're working off of a PDF document, then I think things change a little bit in the interim, because you have the ability to do your select. So here's the PDF document for my export. So what I can do is go in and do trimming, and I can trim down to a certain thing. Looks like that's about as small as I can go. Confirm. And then now I can make annotations and do things like that. And then what I would have to do is then just go back to trimming and then do adjust, confirm, and it takes it back. So you can see I've got that little tiny text in there. So you could do that with sheet music if it was a PDF document. But once we get zoom abilities, everything opens up. Hopefully that helps you. Boy said the reMarkable was more suited for those who want to draw. Interesting, you find it easier to draw. That's because I'm not an artist. The reason I find the reMarkable hard to draw on is because I'm not an artist. Like, there are people that you give them a piece of paper, an eraser, and a mechanical pencil, and they would do magic. Like, I think those people would excel on the reMarkable. I'm like, give me a fat marker with several colors, and I'll make big shapes. Like, so I'm struggling with this, but it's a growth opportunity for me. And some of us, we grow, like all of us, I think we grow from exploring how to work around limitations that are given to us. So, yeah. So I would say if you're a drawer, if you're an artist, the reMarkable is way better just because of the brush options, the pencil options, the shading, all that stuff. If you like to color with magic markers, I think the Supernote is easier anyway. Thank you for awesome content. Thanks, Jonathan. It's a way to get translation tool in the reMarkable. Ooh. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if there's not a hack out there to translate. I haven't seen it. If it's possible, it's going to be possible from a hack long before it's possible from the manufacturer, I think. As a matter of fact, without the hacking community, the reMarkable as a product, I don't think it would be doing nearly as well as it is today because the ability to have other third-party people develop for the product makes a big difference because they're not confined to the constraints of the development cycle that the reMarkable team is. By the way, Supernote is also releasing APIs and their proprietary note format soon, so that people can develop for that as well. So that'll be interesting. You won't be able to install like hacks the way you can reMarkable because the Linux operating system handles things much differently. But how you manipulate the data once you get it off the device can be open, and they're going to open that up. How much storage space have you used up on the A5X? Oh, let's see. About? Nope, system. See that? I have available 21.6 gigs and out of 32 gigs. So, and I've got a bunch of books on here. I've got ebooks, I've got Kindle stuff. So, I mean, I'm not a heavy user yet by any means, but like I'm not even close to filling it up. So I'm not super concerned. Get out of there. Okay. For streaming and answering my question. Hey, all right. Well, that's our last comment on there. Thank you so much, guys, for going through this with me. I think it's been super fun. By the way, my Operations Fire Team book. Actually, where's that book? I saw it. Oh, here it is. It's this book here. It's a counter zombie operations. I accidentally lost the counter zombie part when I made this. But it's a fun little book that's about how to, like, it's supposed to mimic a military handbook on fighting zombies, which I thought was kind of funny. So I just took a picture of it, and then I made this. And then I just now realized for the first time that when I brought down FM 999-3, I moved it down. I must have covered up counter zombie. So I've got to fix that. But anyway, I thought that was fun. So the one thing I really like about the Supernote is the cover wakes the device. I really wish reMarkable did that. I've said this several times. To me, that is a missed opportunity. It does not put it to sleep. It does not wake it. Like, why could they not have made that work? I don't know. Yeah, the A5X is amazing. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for everyone that has been hanging out with me and asking questions. Really, like I said, I had no agenda. Am I actually live? Or did I die? Did I freeze? Oh, well, maybe I froze. Hello. I guess it's a good thing we're wrapping this up. So, oh, I see what happened. Hold on. Hey, there we go. Get my green screen back in here. Boom. I don't know what happened. We froze. But anyway, yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me. And like I said before, I didn't have an agenda. I was just literally going to ask or answer questions that you guys had. And if nobody came on, I was going to be really bored and probably trying to draw on the reMarkable to figure out how to make that work. And yeah, my mountain biking wound will heal. But yeah, thanks so much again. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to comment on the comments on this video. If you have questions that come up after we end the live stream, which is going to happen here in a minute, or if you watch it later and you have questions, just put them in the comments. I'll try and keep up with them. And then the question was, do I plan to do this periodically? Yes, I will, as long as it makes sense. So depending on the success of this, which it seemed to be pretty good because you guys were pretty interactive. So as long as I feel like it's useful for you guys, I will do them. So I don't know when the next one will be, but I'll look for an opportunity to see if it makes sense. And then last question I will answer, which was, is the cover magnetic? On the A5X, it is not magnetic, but it has a magnet in it or something that makes the screen wake and sleep. So whereas the reMarkable, interestingly enough, the cover is magnetic to the tablet, but I guess I could show you. So if I hold it up, it just falls open because it's not magnetic, even though, like I said, it triggers. But the reMarkable one, like, it is magnetic. It's weird, but it doesn't open or sleep it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. And man, I'm excited for you guys that are getting new devices. It's so much fun. So I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining.